Yo! What's up, guys? PKSparkxx here, and welcome back to our BattleClaw series, sponsored by our friends at Mattel. So, we started going over Advanced Battle in our last video. I'll let you guys know all of the changes that are being introduced into Advanced Battle. You now know about the updated Jinlin count, you know about the fact you have to bring a deck, you know how to start spending some Jinlin to draw a card from your deck, but you have to build a deck. In order to build your deck, you have to bring a good mix of not only beast cards, but cards that are newly introduced to the advanced format, PowerUp cards and action cards. Now, I have a few examples laid out in front of me, but the main two we're going to be discussing is the action card, Sharpen's Gambit. Sharpen's Gambit allows you to make another shoot attempt at a Jinlin if the first one you grab is of the water element. And then if the second Jinlin you grab, or in the second shot you take, is of the wood element, you're allowed to draw a card. These cards are really good just to help you build up the beasts that are in your build zone. Personally, I use Fusion Build for my deck, but I'll go over my deck and how to build a deck in the next video. The PowerUp card we're going to be going over will be Sharpen's Unbiased Rage. Sharpen's Unbiased Rage is a PowerUp card that, first of all, lets you untap any beast. As a matter of fact, every PowerUp card lets you untap any beast. And it also gives you the effect when attached to a beast that says this beast gets its Wu-Xing bonus versus all of your opponent's tapped beasts. It also gives plus 10 attack and plus 20 defense, but can only attach to a spider squid. Yeah, it's a lot of information that I didn't really give you guys the information on, but that's why we're here. In this video, we're going to be going over the final points of action and PowerUp cards. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to know more about Advanced Battle, make sure you check out the previous video in this series and also come back because we have another video going live where I'll let you guys know about how to build an advanced deck. And I'll show you guys one deck that I have made for Advanced Battle. But for right now, let's get into this video. Let's start talking about action cards. So just like how we went over beast cards, we're going to go over action cards in the same way, going from top to bottom. So let's look at the very top. At the top of Sharpen's Gambit is, well, the name. The name is right there at the top. If you want to know what the name is called of the card you're using, look in the black box at the very top of the card. To the left of the name will be the rarity. As you can see, the rarity of Sharpen's Gambit is bronze, which means that it's basically common. It's a common card you can find, but I mean that makes it all the more accessible for your deck. So now we're going to go below that, and you can see that the artwork is right below the name. It's actually, I love looking at the artwork. A lot of these are very well done. And you can look at it and maybe see a little bit of references. As a matter of fact, you can see that Sharpen's Gambit, she's first catching the water element squid, but while that capture attempt is being had on the squid, you can see her eyeing the wood rhino. So, I mean, that's something you can take a look. It's just nice little things like that I appreciate when it comes to card art. But right below the card art, you're going to see, and this is where it starts getting important, you're going to see the timing of when you're allowed to play that card. Now on Sharpen's Gambit, you're allowed to play this card before you make your grab attempt. You remember how in basic battle, when you go to make a shoot attempt, you just shoot. Well, because action and PowerUp cards are in play, you have to make sure you look at the timing of the card so you can play it at the appropriate time. So this card, Sharpen's Gambit, you can only play before you make your shoot attempt. Now, there are other timings as well. You can shoot after you grab, anytime during your turn, before you attack, during your attack, after your attack. There is a lot of different timing on there, so if you want to know the proper timing for when you can play an action card, you have to look at the text right below the card art. They're normally different color, and the color also indicates when you can play it, but Sharpen's Gambit you can play before you grab, and again, you can see why, because if you do grab a water Jinlin, you can shoot again, and if you grab a wood Jinlin after that, you can draw a card. So keep that in mind when you're picking your action cards. Timing is key. You have to use it at the right time and take the most advantage of it when it is applicable. So now right below the card activation time, you're going to see the effect of the card you're using. Now, these are things you have to look over for yourself. There are plenty of action cards available for you to choose. In the case of Sharpen's Gambit, this card allows you, if you make your grab, you play this card before you make your grab attempt. And then when you make a grab, if you do catch a water element Jinlin, you're allowed to make another shot. Then after that, If you then grab a wood Jinlin, you draw a card. So with that in mind, let's say you wanted to build a beast that is of the water and wood elements. You can play this card, grab a water one, and then you can make another attempt to grab another beast. And then you grab the wood one. Not only do you get the opportunity to draw a card into your hand, which allows you to play a beast into your build zone. Let's say you draw the one that's perfect. Let's say you try to build Big Fang. Big Fang will be a perfect one to draw, place on your build zone, then use the Jinlin you just caught, build Big Fang, send an attack towards your opponent, and then you have a beast on the field with 70 defense, which I have found out is so good to have in case you're kind of getting beaten down. 70 defense is very nice to have in your build zone. Those are the kind of things you can have happen with action cards. They allow you extra shots, they allow you to draw cards, they allow you to make your opponent shoot with a certain hand, they allow you to get an extra Jinlin off the field, they allow you, one of my favorite cards, Bait and Switch, you can capture any Jinlin and then release that one back onto the field and then pick the Jinlin of your choice. They're great. They are absolutely useful. If you have not looked at all of the action cards available, take a look. If you already done so, take a second look. Like, I'm sure you're gonna find some other cards that be like, you know what if I try using this card in my deck? You have to try them all. There are a lot of action cards out there, a lot of different combinations, a lot of different beast cards that go along with the action cards. You have to find out what works best for you, and not only best for you, but what might be the best in the game. Try them all out. Now let's talk about the timing icons on every action card. You're going to find these icons in the bottom left corner of the card, where you would normally find the attack stat on a beast card. So in the case of Shan-Shan's Gambit, we have what's known as the grabber icon. This one lets you know that you can play this before or after you grab. Remember, if you want to know the exact timing of when you can play a certain card, look at the text right below the card artwork. That'll always be your best way to know when to play it. But if you want to know what kind of cards you're playing, which is important depending on what beast card you're using or what kind of power-up cards you have, this is how you're going to find this out. Shan-Shan's Gambit is known as a grabber action card. So now we're going to move on to the attack action card, and that's Flame Barrage, another example of another action card. This one you can play when you declare an attack, and you can only play it on an attacking fire beast, which you can find out right below the activation timing. So when you play Flame Barrage on an attacking fire beast, this beast gets plus 20 attack versus tap beast. So Flame Barrage, you now know, is a card you can play when you attack, and you know it's an attack action card based on the icon in the bottom left corner of the card. Simple, right? Now another card, the third type of icon you can have are tactical cards. We're going to look at Gauntlet Malfunction. This tactical card you can play during any time of your turn. You can find that out in the information right below the card artwork. And you can only play this one if you control a metal element beast. This card allows you to look at your opponent's hand, choose one card from that hand for your opponent to discard into the discard pile. So you can basically take an advantage away from your opponent. Let's say they had Shan-Shan's Gambit and they're ready to make a really good build for a beast on their build zone. You just say, you know what, I'm going to take this away from you, put it into your discard pile, you lose that advantage. Action cards can save you, they can push you ahead. You have to look at all of them again and find out which one works best for you. So we have three examples right here: grabber action cards, attack action cards, and tactical action cards. Now let's start talking about power-up cards. Power-up cards are cards that can attach to beasts and power them up. Their universal usage, though, is that if you have a power-up card in your hand, you can spin the appropriate element Jinlin that you just captured to activate that power-up card and use it to untap any beast that is already currently tapped. But if you want to attach a power-up card to a beast, it has to match the attached two notes in the bottom of the power-up card. So let's take Shan-Shan's Unbiased Rage, for example. On the bottom of Shan-Shan's Unbiased Rage, you can see that it attaches to Spider Squid. So if the beast you are untapping is comprised of both a Spider and Squid type Jinlin, you can attach Shan-Shan's Unbiased Rage to that beast. And that beast will get an attack strength up of 10 and a defense power up of 20, as detailed by the notes in the bottom left corner and bottom right corner of the power-up card. But before we go that far, we got a little too fast. Let's rewind back up to the top. So at the very top of every single PowerUp card, similar to action cards, you're going to find the name of the card you're using. And directly to the left of the name is going to be the rarity icon. As you can see, the rarity icon is gold for Shan's Unbiased Rage, and that means that it's a really rare card. Right below the name and the rarity icon, you're going to see the card art, which in this case looks really good. And right below that, you're going to see the cost. You need to spend any wood Jiggling you capture in order to activate Shan's Unbiased Rage. Now, PowerUp cards you can play normally during any time of your turn. So let's say you capture a wood Jiggling and you want to untap a beast that's on your build zone. You capture that Jiggling and you release it and show your opponent the card. I'm going to activate Shan's Unbiased Rage and use it to untap, let's say, Gorillazilla. Since we've been using that card recently for some examples, let's bring it back for this case. Gorillazilla you're going to use to untap. Untapping a beast means that you make it to where it's facing upright and the card can attack immediately once you rebuild that beast. But because Gorillazilla is comprised of an ape and dragon type Jiggling, unfortunately, Shan's Unbiased Rage cannot attach to Gorillazilla. However, Taiyi's BattleClaw can. Taiyi's BattleClaw is another PowerUp card that you have to spend a fire Jiggling in order to activate and untap any beast. And fortunately, it attaches to an ape and dragon type beast card. So, Gorillazilla meets that criteria to a T. When you untap Gorillazilla using Taiyi's BattleClaw, you are going to attach this PowerUp card to Gorillazilla. And because of that, Gorillazilla is going to get a +10 increase to its defense. Unfortunately though, it doesn't get any increase into its attack stat because Taiyi's BattleClaw doesn't naturally give it any +10 attack or +20 attack or plus anything. It's just +0. However, thanks to the PowerUp Claw's effect, that's not quite true. So just like on an action card, right below the activation requirements, you're going to find out the card effects. So let's look at Taiyi's BattleClaw. Taiyi's BattleClaw allows you, once it's attached to a beast card, if you have a total of 4 or more +10 tokens on your other beast, this beast gets +30 attack. I know of plenty of cards that love to just hoard some +10 attack. So, let's say you already have +10 tokens on Tentaculon. It's a card that I enjoy using. Tentaculon likes to hoard +10 tokens. Once you have +10 tokens on Tentaculon, if you untap Gorillazilla using Taiyi's BattleClaw, you now have 2 beasts in your build zone with very high attack and will most likely defeat any beast your opponent may have in their build zone. So that's the idea behind PowerUp cards. They power up your beast. And if you want to know how much a PowerUp card inherently increases the stats or decreases the stats of the beast card you're attaching to, you look in the bottom left and right corner of the PowerUp card, similar to how you would look for the attack and defense stats on a beast card. So Shan's Unbiased Rage, when attached to a beast, gives +10 attack and +20 defense. Taiyi's BattleClaw, when attached to a beast, gives no attack increase inherently and +10 defense, but you will get a +30 attack thanks to Taiyi's BattleClaw if you do meet the effect activation cost on Taiyi's BattleClaw. So I hope you now fully understand action cards and PowerUp cards. I can't go over them all because we'll be here a while. But like I said, if you want to know more about BattleClaw and see all the action cards and PowerUp cards available, go to the BattleClaw website, go to the card library, skim over all the cards available for your deck. And speaking of decks, now that we know what action cards are and PowerUp cards, and we already know what beast cards are, and we already know how many beast cards we should bring, it's time to put them all together. Before we can actually have an advanced battle, we have to build an advanced deck. And I'm going to show you guys my suggestions on how to build your deck. Now, there are many ways to build advanced decks. I want you guys to only take what I create and what I let you guys know on my thoughts with a grain of salt. I want you guys to think outside the box when we go into this one. If you see something and you're like, I wonder if this will work, try it out for yourself. But in the next video, I'm gonna let you guys know how to build an advanced deck. We're gonna put action cards, power-up cards, and beast cards all together for a really strong deck. And then finally, we're going to end this off with a really good advanced battle. So if you guys enjoyed yourself, don't forget to check out the previous videos. I will see you guys next time where we're going to learn how to build an advanced deck. But for now, it's time for me to dip. Stay hot, guys, and I'll see y'all next time.